Hey, this is Erin from Educated Nurse. Welcome back to my third lecture in the series on what it was like to go from an ER nurse to a breast cancer patient survivor and back again. And this lecture is going to be on it's not all rainbows and unicorns. It's okay to have feelings. So follow along. I do want to put a disclaimer out there that this video is for instructional purposes only. The information shared is my story, and it's not everybody's story. None of the information shared should be considered expert medical advice. The information presented should not replace the information provided by your doctor. Please work with your own doctor to find the best course of treatment for you for your situation. Also, I will use medical terminology which may not be suitable for children. And please also be aware that I'm very honest. I tell it how it is. I don't sugarcoat, and for that I apologize for the occasional profanity. So people ask me all the time how I felt, and I never knew how to respond. I was grateful for the support and the concern, but really I was super overwhelmed. I understood that most people around me were going to go through this too, but I was the one who had cancer. This will affect me for the rest of my life. The entire process was an emotional roller coaster. Just when I had a good day, I'd have a bad one. Just when I got good news, bad or frustrating news was just around the corner. I remember, honestly, sitting in the waiting room for my PET CT or my PET scan, and I got the call saying that the lymph node they biopsied was negative. And I thought, okay, great. My cancer hadn't spread outside the breast like we originally thought. We could skip this PET scan. Not so fast, said the surgeon. They had biopsied the wrong lymph node, and I was like, what the fuck? Seriously? You are the expert medical professionals. How do you biopsy the wrong lymph node? Again, seriously. Highs and lows, highs and lows. If I could tell you how I really felt, I would have said I was angry, sad, scared. I even avoided talking about it. I did a really good job of ignoring it on my good days, and there were some days I felt great and I actually didn't even believe I had cancer. I didn't identify with it until I looked in the mirror and saw my bald head, dark circles under my eyes, and the scars on my chest. I was angry. I was angry at my boobs. I felt betrayed. I didn't even want to look at or touch my boobs. I didn't want my husband to touch me. I just wanted them gone. I was sad for what my future held, and I didn't want my children to live without a mother. To this day, I'm still scared of the unknown. I like to be prepared and plan for the future, but I had a feeling I wasn't in control, and that made me even more scared. I wasn't in the mood to talk about it, and when I did, I cried all the time. Most days, my thoughts jumped from having hope and doing okay to the terrifying thoughts of leaving my family behind. I was terrified that I wouldn't see my children grow up. I was terrified I wouldn't watch my husband walk our daughter down the aisle. I found that going to work was a great distraction and that writing down my thoughts was a way better to get the images out of my head and how I was really feeling out of my body. As I progressed through the process, I found it easier to accept the fact that I had cancer. It had finally set in. And really, the hardest part in my mind was making sense of it all. Cancer affects everything. Your body physically, your mentally, your job, your relationships, your outlook on life, everything. It turns your life upside down and you have to make peace with it and find a way to go on living. My biggest tip here is that if you have a support system in place, that helps. Find your person to talk to and to be honest with. Support groups can help, so can other breast cancer warriors and survivors. But it's important to wait to join a support group until you have all your ducks in a row. This was something that another survivor told me to do because it's really easy for other people going through this to tell you what to do. So make sure that you have your plan in place so that you can make educated decisions about your treatment and your life. And once your decisions are made, then seek out those groups. There are amazing people out there who are willing to share their stories, but if you don't have support at home, seek support from a therapist or a counselor. I found that by talking to a neutral third party like a therapist, I was able to be heard and my feelings and thought weren't judged or dismissed. So just a tip. If you want to learn more, check out my book. I wrote this while I